Hello and welcome to this Saturday installment of the Bracken Outdoors podcast. Once a month, I take a deeper dive into some area of working outdoors, philosophy of education, work as a business, a small business, or self-employed, and all of that stuff. So we have those shorter weekly segments that come out on a Wednesday, and then we have these longer episodes which go out on YouTube and on the Bracken Outdoors podcast, where, as I said, we just dive deeper. It means we can take a bit more of a structured look into something that I think will be really valuable for you. So today I wanted to talk a little bit about email marketing. Now, marketing, if you think like most forest leaders, we try our very hardest, as Woodland Leaders, Bushcraft instructors, whatever, not to be salesy or to kind of push the business aside away. What we're into is we want to make a difference in people's lives. We want to be out there, outdoors, away from the computer, away from our phones, and we want to change people's lives and spend quality time in the outdoors. And we I don't know, the marketing world just always seems so sleazy. Like, okay, do I really want to say that I'm in sales or anything? It's generally avoided. But I think we are doing ourselves a disservice by not looking to marketing, and not just ourselves, the people we could potentially help. Because at the end of the day, marketing is simply making people aware of what you do and giving them the opportunity to join you in what you're doing. Because if you have this fabulous woodland and you run these amazing courses and there's all this transformation that could happen, it's no good if nobody knows about it. In some ways, you've got to be marketing yourself and your service or your product. It's a key. It doesn't have to be pushy or aggressive or anything like that. It can just simply be, hey, this is something that I think will really help you. Let me show you what it is, and if you're interested, then maybe there'll be exchange of money, or you might just come into a session that's funded, or you might get involved with a project, or whatever. It's all about getting that first bit of engagement. Finding it's Marketing is connecting someone who could benefit from a service or product with someone, i.e., you and your team, with each other, so that you can do something brilliant. So marketing, definitely not a bad thing. There are certain types of marketing which are predatory, and so on. And there's very pushy salespeople out there that kind of leave you feeling almost dirty. But we don't need to be that to market ourselves better, to shout louder about the great things that we do. So I think marketing is really valuable, and you should probably dedicate some time every week, every month, so on, to putting yourself out there. Now, for most people, this is putting yourself out on social media. I mean, it's great. That's fantastic. You take session pictures during your sessions, or get people to take it for you, and you have these beautiful pictures of learning happening outdoors, transformation of skills, of fascinating things. That's amazing. Yeah, and I do it myself. I try and keep up on the social media. It does get to be a bit of a chore sometimes, but I push out as much as I can. I'm trying to provide interest, value, motivation, and just remind people, hey, I'm here. This is what I do. And that's where most people stop with marketing, is social media. But I think there is a more valuable medium, which you've probably guessed from the title of this video and this podcast, and that is email marketing. And again, that's not anything complicated. At a minimum level, it's just sending someone an email, someone who's really interested in what you do, and sending them an email and saying, hey, have you heard that I'm doing X or Y? Or, here's this interesting thing I saw, why don't you check it out? It's really simple, it doesn't have to be complicated. And there are a couple of reasons why I think email does a whole lot better than social media. First of these is about connection. So when you put something out on social media, if you're anything like me, 90% of the interactions you have will be a simple like, thumbs up, heart emoji, whatever. And then the other, like 10% or something like that, will just be, oh, this looks great, fabulous, congratulations. And that's where the conversation ends. Because it's a public forum. When you're going on social media, you're essentially standing up in a room and going, hey guys, look at this. And then everyone kind of is around. There might be a few cheers in the background, there might be a few hey, and people will be aware of you, but it's very much a one-sided conversation. There are some things that will push people's buttons and get people to comment more, or they'll find something really interesting and they'll let you know about it. But generally, most of the interaction is quite limited and only goes one way, from you out to them, the content producer to the people consuming the content. Whereas I find that email marketing and sending out emails, it feels a bit more like a conversation. I mean that part of that is because of the way you write emails. So I would recommend not writing them as salesy. I just recommend treating every person on your mailing list like an individual and going, hey, thought I saw this, why don't you have a look at it? And I get more response back because people have, when I send them an email, they basically have my personal email address. I have a business email address, but it all feeds back directly to me as much as a personal email would. And so that means they have a direct connection to me. They can send me a question, they can comment on it, they can let me know what they're thinking and feeling about this. They can really start to open up conversation. Sometimes it can be bounced backwards and forwards multiple times. Because it's all secure and it's all private, it means people who may not be willing to open up in a public forum about their concerns, about questions, or about admitting that they maybe don't know how to do something or they would like more information. It's a lot easier when you have that private one-to-one conversation. And of course, because it's an email, that means both of you can sort of choose when to pick it up. With social media, when you put something out, it's there and gone. Like, it doesn't take long for a post to disappear down the scroll. And sometimes if you're the wrong time, if you post at the wrong time, someone may not even see it at all. Whereas an email, it tends to be a bit more upfront, particularly if it's something that people open more often. Most inboxes will start flagging that and going, hey, you really enjoy opening this here, let's have it first, let's put it in the important category, and this is something that you'll want to see. So that's kind of the second point. So we have first key point there is you have that one-to-one conversation. Second point is you're actually reaching people. And this is at a time where I've talked to a number of other leaders and people who are putting out content, and the algorithms of these social media sites are starting to cause problems a little bit. We're not reaching as many people as we used to, and I think this is partly because those social media conglomerates are looking to push their paid advertising. So they go, okay, if you want to reach your people, you're going to need to pay for it. And they're starting to hit back on just people who can just exist in the spectrum. They basically want us to pay per view. And that's not the greatest business proposition. It's It's expensive. There are people who have done brilliant things with targeted ads. We had a chat with Chris recently and Chris Grice, and that was fantastic. He's really on the ball with marketing, doing some great stuff with ads. But for most of us, our posts just get lost the in the ether and often don't get seen by as many people. I mean, I've shared things multiple times, and then I've still had people look really surprised when I've said, "Hey, we actually do this." And so people get disappointed because they miss something. Whereas an email, it kind of gets through, cuts through all of that. As long as people want to see it, they will see it preferentially, and it will be sitting in their inbox. And for those of you with overfull inboxes, just unsubscribe from a few things. You'll have so much better time if you have a curated email list. So yes, it means a more direct line. And it's a more direct line to people that already are interested in what you do. And they're what, in marketing terms, we would call a warm audience or a hot audience. They are people that are already thinking and wanting to be a part of what you're doing. So the people on social media, it may well just be a suggested post that they see in passing. It might well be that they're interested in something else, or if they're looking up a tag like Bushcraft and my sessions for children scroll through. They look at it, they might not be as interested. It might not be for them. They might be living in a completely different country, different part of the country. They might not be interested in the same things. Whereas the people who give you their email, they are saying that they want to hear from you. There might be a few people who then unsubscribe if they don't like what you're sending out, but there tends to be the minority. If people are giving out an email address, they are saying, we want to hear from you. We want to know what's going on. So it's a great way to reach the audience, the people that matter most, the people who are most interested in stuff, to reach them directly and connect with them. And another big reason is that email address capture. It might be a little bit more difficult, but actually there's a way to work it into your process to capture it well. And we'll go into that a bit later, but it's relatively easy to capture, relatively simple to capture email addresses as part of your booking process or whatever. It might not be that easy, but simple. And lastly, there's been a lot of research around this, and because these are people who really believe in what you're doing, there's a much higher rate of return. People are more likely to book on a course, buy a product, engage in a service, join a project if it is emailed to them rather than if they see it on social media. Because it feels like it gives you a bit more of a sense of being official, of being honest and upright and putting yourself out there. So really good. I think email marketing is underdeveloped amongst the sector in terms of outdoor leaders, forest school, bushcraft, woodland, and whatnot. And I think it's a wasted opportunity that we can really connect with our audience better and make them aware of the great things we're doing and get them involved, because that way we can transfer value and we can make their lives better, and in turn, because we're hopefully operating our value for value, so if we provide enough value to other people, then we receive some of it ourselves. So if you at this point you're going, okay, yes, but it's so tricky, I don't know where I have the time, I'm not sure whether I want to spam people with emails, how do I even get started, what do I do? And we'll just go through the simplest way to get started and start your journey into and start a proper email marketing platform. So first things first is, if you have a booking system, is just add in a little extra thing in the booking form that says, hey, would you like to be kept up to date with future events, courses, sessions, whatever? It can be a little tick box, it can be a yes or no, it can be whatever. You just want to capture that, what's the word? Capture the acknowledgement that this is okay to do. So once you've added that in, people that book on your system, often if they like what you're doing, they will tick that box, and you will be able to add them to your email list. You'll be able to take those email addresses out and keep a hold of them. If you don't operate with a booking system, another way you can do that is, if you're running a session or whatever, at the end of the session you can go, hey, if you want to keep in touch with us, here's a paper, pen, just jot down your name and email address here, and we'll be in touch if we do things similar. Or you could even offer something of value, like run a competition or something. So you could go, hey, like across social media or whatever, you can go, okay, if you'd like to win this fire steel set or whatever, drop your email down here. Or as I do it, I have a few lead magnets, I have a few things that I've put out there that I believe create a whole lot of value. I've got a spreadsheet, I've got activities ideas, I've got free group support calls. So anyone who signs up on that automatically gets added through into the mailing list, because I'm providing value. I'm saying, okay, I'm going to offer you something for free, but as I say, there's no such thing as a free lunch. I'm going to offer these things for free, but it will cost you an email address. And of course, they can unsubscribe any time. But generally, if they're already on my website going, yes, I would like to see this resource that Bracken is prepared, they are much more open to remaining on the mailing list. So once you've started capturing your email addresses, then you either want to manually add them into an email platform, so your basic inbox style. So if you've only got like 20 odd email addresses that you're sending stuff out to, sticking with Google Mail or Outlook or whatever is perfectly fine. But if you're looking to be a bit more serious about this, I'd look at one of the big platforms. So when I first started out with all of this, I was on MailChimp, and that was pretty good for some time. But as you try and scale that and move on, it gets very expensive very quickly. And I also wanted the ability to automate some of these processes, because our time is valuable in this, and it's good to have automation wherever possible if you're doing things online. If someone wants to download my spreadsheet for working out expenses, they'll go into the website, they'll click on expense spreadsheet, it'll say, okay, would you like this? They enter their name, email address, click, and then it'll automatically send an email through with the link to the spreadsheet. So it's all automated, it's just ticking away in the background, and you want to automate as much as you possibly can at this end, because, as I said, we don't want to be here stuck behind a laptop in front of a computer. We want to be out there doing great things. So automate wherever you can, and I'm currently sitting with MailerLite, Lite, and they're fantastic. No affiliation with them, but I've been sitting on the free version for a while, and I send out 187 odd emails a month over the course of all the people that subscribe. So it's a little bit less per person. I send out about 4 to 5 a month, only maybe 6, 7, somewhere around there, and it works fine. I think once you get above a certain number of email contacts, something like a couple of thousand, then you may need to upgrade. But if you've got a couple of thousand people on your mailing list, you probably want to anyway upgrade. So yes, find a platform that works, do a bit of research. Like I say, if you don't want to do the research, just try out MailerLite. It's pretty good. I've got on well with it. And then once you've got people in this platform, then now's the time to start emailing them. And like I said, it doesn't have to be something that takes all of your time. The ideal minimum is once every week. You send out an email every week. There's people who make email to do proper email marketing, and they'll say, no, you should be contacting like 2 to 3 times a week, every day. So I don't have time for that. But if I was just an online based business, I wasn't actually delivering sessions out in the woods, then maybe I'd have time to batch a couple of emails every week. But really, I only just about have time enough to produce all of this content and send out about 1 email a week. So I'd say it's good if you can get 1 email a week. And if you can't manage 1 email a week, then I'd say absolute minimum, if you're serious, just don't drop below this level. Once a month. Once a month means you only have to manage 12 emails a month, year, 12 emails a year, and they don't have to be anything complicated. They don't have to be massive or all the bells and whistles and everything else. In fact, it's better to keep it short and simple. So there are a number of different emails you can send out. If you're just sending out a monthly email, the easiest way to do it is just to do it as what I call a kind of events roundup. So I send out, one of the 4 monthly emails I send out is a roundup of all upcoming events and sessions. So these are the things that are core audience. So for me, one of my core audiences is families, mostly homemade families, people who are looking for forest school sessions, bushcraft sessions for children, family forest school days, those kind of things. So that's my core group. And then what I do is I send out an email every month, and it goes, okay, we currently have these sessions running every week. This is the next big event, which for me is a Christmas craft session. And then after that, we've got our Christmas forest school celebration. And then after that, we've got some holiday clubs coming up in the new year. So this is just a little reminder that drops into people's inboxes once a month. A reminder that you're there, first of all. And it also just keeps them in touch with what's happening next. If you go a couple of months out, this means that people have plenty of time to plan ahead, set aside the day, get money together, get resources together, make sure they've got time, make sure they've got, babysitters or whatever. It gives them advance warning, and it's just a little reminder, hey, this thing is going to be coming up. And because if you're releasing on social media, chances are you go, hey, we've got this amazing event, and then you leave it and you forget about it for a couple of months until you go, hey, there's still time to book onto this, and you haven't got your bookings yet. Whereas just sending them out every month and keeping it a couple of months ahead means that if it's 3 months ahead, people will generally get 3 reminders, well spaced out, that this is coming up, it's getting closer, now's the time to book. So it keeps you in touch with your audience regularly. I say this is the bare minimum. You can create a template for that, and it just means that you just swap in and out a couple of things, copy and paste some descriptions of what you do, write a nice little intro that kind of sets the scene for the particular month you're looking at. It can be something like, oh hey, I hope you had a really good time at the fireworks the other weekend and you're not feeling too cold because of the weather. And it kind of sets it in time and makes it more relatable. And then you can go in, talk about all the things you're doing, and then tell them about what to expect next. But maybe it can even be little teasers. Hey, watch the space for this exciting new skills day coming next year. that kind of stuff. So it's keeping them in touch. That's one of them. Once you've got like that monthly email going out, that's good. That if you can get to that bare minimum level, you are doing better than most people. As I said, it's not difficult. It should only take you like 15 minutes once a month, 15-20 minutes once a month. And you can get right done, you can automate most of it, and it means that the people who really want to be on your sessions will hear about them and they'll be able to join in, and you'll do better because of it. So this means that once you've got that up and running, then you can start building it out. Like I say, once a week is nice, and you want to vary it a little bit here and there. You don't want to be that constant sales pitch person. Like buy my course. If you really want to engage with people, you want to offer them value. You want to offer them your thoughts, your experiences. So you can add in, you can have an email like, okay, this is what I did last weekend. I found out this really interesting thing about the way nettle fibers can be retted to produce valuable fibers without the work of stripping it. You can talk about, I found this really great resource out there. It's made by Woodland Classroom and it's a tree ID resource, and it's really helpful if you're looking to develop that area. There's all sorts of things out there. It's just providing that value for your audience, so they're not just getting bombarded by constant sales. This is the key way to avoid coming across as salesy or heavy in the marketing, is providing some value for people. So it's resources, it's content, it's stuff that you don't give to anyone else apart from your email list. Then you can also do things like ask questions, get feedback from your audience. This is a great chance because you've got those people in front of you who want to be a part of what you do, are interested in what you want to do, and it's great to find out more about what that like, not like. You can send questions in like, okay, I'm designing this course, what would you like to see as part of this? Or we're going to be running a session like this, would earlier in the day or later in the day be better for you? It means you can really start finding out more about your audience. It means you can then design something for them, and then that means you're more likely to get bookings on, and we are all so much happier. And then the last thing, of course, is the last type of email I'd say is a straightforward sales email. Now this doesn't have to be really salesy, as I said. Just stick to why this is valuable. If you are providing a product or service, particularly in this space, you believe in it. So this is all about passing on that belief. Sales, I can't remember who said this, I think it might be Jack Spierker. Sales is the transfer of belief. So I believe my forest school sessions can change people's lives. I want you to believe that. I believe my online course that I'm developing will be able to transform your skills as a leader and make you more confident. So what you're doing is you're saying, hey, I have this thing that I think can help you. And that's it. That's all a sales email needs to be. This is what I've done, this is why I've done it, and this is how I think it can help you. And then you're not forcing anyone, you're not holding their hand onto the keyboard, you're not reaching into their wallet and pulling out the credit card. You're saying, hey, if you want to, here. I'd say it's a disservice to our customers and the people, our supporters, if we don't give them the opportunity to interact with us, to get what we are providing. So yeah, just a simple sales email. Send that out once a month maximum, and you can also add it in as a kind of PS on other emails. But generally, once a month I've found is a good minimum for trying to sell something, and just make people aware and provide a bit of value in there as well if you can. So I hope this has been a good introduction to email marketing and how it might help you and your you and your business and the work that you do. I really do believe that it's better for us to market ourselves, and it's still a journey for me. I feel like I'm only at the beginning now, and there's a whole lot I don't know, but I think it is valuable and is a valuable skill to cultivate. When one of the many hats we have to wear as solo business owners or as self-employed or whatever. So I think I will wrap it up there, because I do try and keep these short and to the point. I think after this point I'd just be rambling on. So if you would have any comments, questions, whatever, if you're on YouTube, drop it down in the comments below. If you have any interesting comments or questions or whatever that you'd like to send to me directly, the email address is info@brackenoutdoors.com. And of course, if you want to join my mailing list, I do have a mailing list for outdoor professionals. Surprise, surprise. And I will try and provide value. I'll let you know about the courses, the resources, and everything that I do. So if you're interested in that, same email, just drop me a line or pop onto my website and download one of my resources. I do have a few out there. And if there's any content you would like to see, I'm interested in serving you and helping you become the best leader that you can be and the most successful business person as well. So if you've got any suggestions for future content, anything you'd like to hear me talk more about, let me know. Otherwise, I will sign off here now. Have a fantastic rest of your weekend and week and so on. And remember, make the most of every day.